I finally married the love of my life. I had the wedding ceremony I've always dreamed of. Blessed by so many, marrying the one I love. I'm sure my parents in heaven are rejoicing for us. That's what I believed. I could never have anticipated such a tragedy lying in wait. I will never forgive those who ruined everything. I will have my revenge. My name is Mila. I was proposed to by Jack, my boyfriend who is 2 years older than me, and we got married when I was 27. I lost my father when I was young, and my mother passed away from illness 2 years ago. It was Jack who supported me and loved me when I was both emotionally and physically broken. We got legally married on our 2.5-year anniversary, embarking on a blissfully happy life as newlyweds. Due to Jack's job being in its busiest season, we decided to hold the wedding ceremony later when things settled down. We visited the venue on one of Jack's days off to prepare for the wedding. The date was set smoothly, and all that was left was to select the guests. I have an aunt and uncle who cherish me as their own daughter in place of my late parents. After my father passed, they would bring me a lot of dishes because my mother was busy with work. They also kept me company so I wouldn't feel lonely while my mother was at work. Even after my mother fell ill, they took on everything around her to ensure I wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. When my mother's condition didn't improve and I was feeling down, my aunt would gently encourage me, saying, "It's okay, your mom will definitely get better. You need to believe and wait for her, okay?" No matter how difficult or painful things were, it was because my aunt and uncle were there for me that I managed to get through it all. That's why I wanted them to sit in the family section at the wedding. To convey this, I visited my aunt and uncle's house for the first time in a while. "Mila, congratulations on your wedding." My aunt greeted me with tears in her eyes. "Thank you. I was hoping you two could sit in the family section at the venue. Would that be okay?" "Of course." Then my aunt presented a large box in front of me. "Mila, could you open this?" Urged by my aunt, I opened the box in front of me. Inside was a pure white wedding dress, made of beautiful silk fabric. The dress had a perfect blend of elegance and cuteness. The décolleté was adorned with bright lace. The silhouette was carefully designed to be a beautiful A-line, with cute floral embroidery on the hem. The size was smaller than usual, clearly made just for me. I fell in love with the wedding dress at first sight. "Why do you have such a dress?" "It's because your mother made it." "What? Mom did?" Apparently, the wedding dress was handmade by my mother. Despite her illness, she painstakingly sewed it day by day, tailoring it to fit my petite frame. "If Mila ever gets married, I want you to give this to her." My mom had asked my aunt. This was the last thing Mom put her love into making. "Mila, please wear this dress for your wedding. Your mom would be so happy." Tears welled up as my aunt smiled warmly, causing me to become overwhelmed with emotion. "Thank you. You kept it safe for me all this time. I will wear this dress at my wedding, so you must come to see it." Holding the wedding dress, I returned home filled with happiness. I hung the dress on the wall of my room and gazed at it intently. For my mother's sake, I wanted to make sure the wedding goes perfectly while wearing this dress. That desire grew stronger day by day. Then one day, an incident occurred. When I returned home from work, the wedding dress that should have been in my room was gone. It's gone. How could this be? I'm sure I hung it right here. In a panic, I reached for my phone to call the police. Just at that moment, Jack came home. "Mila, what happened?" Seeing me in tears, he realized something was seriously wrong and rushed over. My dress is gone. I had it hanging right here. Maybe someone stole it." In my desperate appeal, Jack showed an unexpected reaction. That's what this is about." "What do you mean by that? Jack, do you know something?" Hesitantly asking, Jack dropped a bombshell. "Of course. Since my sister is getting married soon, she said she'd like to borrow your dress." "What?" Jack had lent my wedding dress to his sister without my permission. When he mentioned the dress to his sister, she said, "Can I borrow it?" And he readily agreed. So that's what happened. She came by today to pick it up, using the spare key for the mailbox. He lent it to his sister, without even telling me. I couldn't believe it. "What do you mean by this?" Despite my anger, he nonchalantly waved his hand as if it were nothing. "Our wedding is a bit further away, and it's not really a problem, right? Plus, my sister is short on cash and was happy, saying, "This saves me on the dress expense." Saves on the dress expense. I didn't give my permission for this at all. My frustration with Jack's incredibly thoughtless actions was unbearable. This dress was made by my mom for me. Didn't I explain that to you, Jack? And it's tailored to fit me perfectly. Why would you lend it out without asking? Don't get so worked up. It's not like it's disposable, and you can still wear it, right? What's the problem? The problem? It's obvious. Why should your sister wear that dress before me? It doesn't make any sense. Despite my desperate pleas, Jack showed no signs of remorse and refused to listen. Eventually, he sighed as if I were bothering him. "Mila, you're being too petty. You're not a child. Stop being so selfish." Selfish? Is this really being selfish? It's absurd to think that his sister would wear the dress my mother made for me before I do. His irresponsible comments that completely disregarded my feelings pushed me to my limit. "Tomorrow, I'm going to your parents' house to get the wedding dress back from your sister." What? Tomorrow is the day her fiancé and his parents are visiting our house for greetings. Don't cause trouble. Trouble? Do you even have the right to say that? Just so you know, I have no intention of letting your sister wear that dress, no matter what anyone says. The next day, I took a day off work to see my Sil. As I arrived at my in-laws' house, I could hear lively voices through the open door. Sneaking inside, I listened closely. "Well, you made this dress yourself. That's amazing, Stella." I heard an unfamiliar man's voice. "Stella is the name of my Sil." Flattered by the compliment, Stella responded, "Oh, it's nothing much," showing off the wedding dress my mother made to her fiancé and his parents. It took some time, but I really wanted to incorporate my own style into it. I wanted to have a perfect wedding, so I ended up making it myself. At that moment, something inside me broke. Her own style? That's ridiculous. That was something my mother sewed with love, just for me. Before I knew it, I was moving. I stepped forward boldly, snatched the wedding dress from Stella, and shouted in front of everyone, "This is mine." Everyone present turned to me with shocked expressions. "Hey, Mila. What in the world are you doing?" My Phil asked in a panic. Ignoring him, I glared at Stella and exposed the truth to everyone. This dress was made by my mother for me, and Stella stole it from my room. What? Everyone was astounded, except my pale-faced Stella. "Hey, Stella. What's going on here?" As her fiancé confronted her, she desperately tried to defend herself. "It's not like that. She's bluffing. This is really something I made." Realizing this was going nowhere, I decided to lay out the facts. "Then why don't you try it on? It was made to fit my size by my mother, so I doubt it will fit you." Yes, Stella is taller and has a sturdier build than me. There's no way she could wear this dress made to fit my petite frame. "Hey, what are you doing?" That's when Jack finally showed up. It seems Stella had contacted him. He was fuming with anger. "Mila, what are you doing? Are you trying to ruin my sister's wedding?" "What are you talking about? If anything, it's our wedding that's about to be ruined." When I retorted, he started saying something unbelievable again. "Shut up. I canceled our wedding. So, give that dress to my sister." "What? Cancel?" "Yay, we canceled it." He pressed on as if to convince me. "My sister said she was strapped for cash, so I gave her our wedding budget of $50,000 as a gift. We're not having a wedding anymore, so we don't need that dress, right?" He lent out someone else's dress without permission, canceled the wedding on his own, and even handed over $50,000. Was our marriage really worth so little to him? I could feel my affection for Jack cooling off. When I remained silent, thinking he had won the argument, he spoke again. "If you understand, then hurry up and return the dress to my sister. You have no objections to the cancellation, right?" "Fine. Then, let's get a divorce." "What?" Jack was taken aback by my immediate response. "Did you hear me? I said divorce. I refuse to be with someone who can trample over someone's feelings so carelessly." "Wait, hold on. Why are we getting a divorce? That's crazy." Jack started to panic, clearly flustered. Anyone with common sense could have seen this coming. His way of thinking is definitely not normal. Well, that settles it. As I was about to leave with the dress in my arms, "Wait just a minute," Stella yelled, grabbing the end of the dress forcefully. In that moment, the dress tore, becoming a pitiful sight. Seeing this, Stella and Jack burst into laughter as if they were spitting it out. "Serves you right. That's what you get for trying to mess with my sister." "That's right. All you had to do was lend me the dress, silly Mila." Anger and tears welled up inside me. I could have forgiven the cancellation of the wedding, but this dress was something I wanted to cherish for a lifetime. And now, it's ruined because of these worthless people. That's when it happened. Stella's fiancé stood up smoothly and muttered, "This means the engagement is off." "What?" Everyone present froze. "Wait a minute, you're joking, right? Why would you call off the engagement?" Her fiancé glared down at her with a look that could curdle milk. "Why? It's obvious. I can't marry someone who's okay with doing something this low." But it seemed her fiancé's parents felt the same, their quiet anger palpable towards Stella's actions. "Then, let's call off the engagement." As the fiancé and his parents started to leave, Stella cried out in desperation, "Wait, calling off the engagement over this is ridiculous. Dad, Mom, you think so too, don't you?" But it was too late for her pleas. "What? Wait, Dad, Mom, why are you glaring at me?" Then, Phil shouted at her, "Get out, you disgrace." Even Stella, usually so bold, started to cry at his commanding presence. "This is too much, it's not fair. Stop crying. We didn't raise you to be someone who disregards others' feelings so easily. Someone who can do such lowly things is not our daughter." But. Watching Stella break down in tears, Jack tried to intervene. "Dad, Mom, calm down. There's no need to blame her so much." "You too, Jack." "What? You're to blame as well. You've trampled on Mila's feelings. You and Stella, get out, you disgraceful son." Jack, clearly not expecting to be disowned himself, was speechless. Mila then apologized to me. "Mila, I'm truly sorry. We were told that Stella had made the dress herself, and we just believed it. It's okay. But my marriage with Jack, it's over." "That's fine. It's his fault. Don't worry about it, and live your life." Her words struck a chord with me. I felt a slight regret that it had come to divorce, given how well my in-laws had treated me. But there's no turning back from divorce now. "Mila, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'll make sure we have a proper wedding. Just please wait and don't divorce me." As soon as he was disowned by his parents, Jack completely changed his attitude. "I had no intention of starting over with such a spineless man. I will live my life. I can be happy without you." At those words, Jack fell to his knees, collapsing in defeat. I told my in-laws, "Thank you for everything," and left the house. When I packed my things and headed to my aunt's house, she was quite surprised. However, she ultimately respected and accepted my feelings. As for that torn dress, my aunt mended the frayed parts, and my mother's dress regained its shine. Afterwards, I filed for divorce and demanded alimony from Jack. Since he had secretly given the marriage funds to his sister, I was able to get a bit more in alimony. It seems Jack and Stella were disowned by their parents and are now living together in the house that Jack and I used to share. Stella, who had planned to be a homemaker after marriage, had already quit her job and was unemployed. Now, Jack is the sole breadwinner, covering the living expenses for both him and Stella. If I ever have the chance to marry someone again, I want to thoroughly vet him. And then, I'll have a wonderful wedding. Of course, I'll be wearing that wedding dress made by my mother.